Hi, I'm Zamira Kippins. Thank you for joining us. 5 days after the police charged a man they said had confessed to the murder of Sinead Savory, the remains of the woman are yet to be found. Crime Chief Paul Williams Monday morning said that the weather had hampered the search for Savory's body. Neil Marks reports.
I would like them to find the body. That's what I want. I want them to.
Danraji Murray begs for closure in the disappearance of her daughter Sinead Savory. This man, Devendra Ramdial, has confessed that he murdered the single mother and buried her body. But where he buried her remains a mystery.
He said he buried her body up Tuesday. They go up there, the date, they didn't find nothing. But I don't know the next location, what he tell them. He said somewhere else, but I don't know where.
Ramdial was charged last Thursday and has expressed regret.
He asked me He asked me to forgive him, and I will. I have to forgive him.
Though the police's initial search for the body proved unsuccessful, Crime Chief Paul Williams said the search will continue.
And even if they're taking us along a journey, finally, we sustain and maintain a particular location. Yes, but we have encountered some challenges due to the weather, but we're going to pursue that same location. Again, we're going to continue that location.
The crime chief referred to the case as being solved, and he acknowledged corrupt officers may have caused the lag in the first place.
I want to say publicly, don't ever see corruption just in the light in terms of taking money. People lackadaisical approach, people intention to suppress or to thwart certain course of action and so on. All those things can lead to corrupt behavior or negligence. So I don't want you to see in the light when the word corruption is being mentioned. It's only basically in the basis of terms of taking money or that aspect. Because since 2016, with this matter, with those information, and what we thereafter picked up, and if it was there since that time, only heavens know what would have caused the delay or this time in terms of not having this matter being solved there.
It took the police, under the crime chief's direction of the Major Crimes Unit, 2 weeks to arrest and extract a confession from Ramdial. Diane Madre, an activist who works on seeking justice in cases of domestic violence, said had police acted professionally, the case would have been solved almost 2 years ago.
In view of my experience working on the Babita Sarju's case, which took 6 years, disappearing files, and countless follow-up to eventually find her skeletal remains in May 2016. Sinead Savory case in 2016 was again prevented by said persons who may have intentionally caused this case to lag for almost 2 years due to their corruptive behavior and lackadaisical attitude.
Savory disappeared sometime around the end of August in 2016. She was at her uncle's birthday party on August 28th. The landlord for the Prospect East Bank Demerara apartment she was living at reported her being at home 2 days after that party. At the time of her disappearance, Savory worked at a factory making toilet tissue. Her daughter, who is now 18 years old, lives overseas. Savory was married but was separated from her husband. It is alleged that she shared a relationship with the man who has now confessed to her murder.
This case did not begin under Mr. Williams' watch, but from April 16, 2018, less than 2 weeks, suspect Devendra Ramdial was apprehended and provided a confession. This suspect went unnoticed despite the family's plea and statements that this individual should have been a person of interest back in 2016.
The crime chief said they're seeking to question 2 other persons, Patrick Kissoon, called Pato, and Ritisha Rahaman, in connection with the disappearance of Savory. Police had issued a wanted bulletin for the 2 back in January of 2017. For the newsroom, Neil Marks reporting.
A 39-year-old woman is hospitalized with a gunshot injury to her left hand following a shooting at the City Vibes nightclub located at Sussex Street, Talboys Town, Georgetown at around 2:40 hours today. Newsroom understands that Stacey Robinson, a cosmetologist of Waterloo Street, was in the lower flat of the concrete building among a crowd when she heard a loud explosion and felt a burning sensation. She then saw blood oozing from the palm of her hand. She was immediately rushed to the Georgetown Public Hospital where she is in a stable condition. Investigations are ongoing. As public concerns grow over the sedation clause in the impending cybercrime legislation, the People's Progressive Party has come out condemning that aspect of the bill even though it had representatives on the committee that approved the draft law. But opposition leader Bar Jagdeo today admitted that the parliamentarians may have lapsed in their responsibility at the level of the committee to identify this undemocratic and widely condemned clause. Davina Samaru reports.
Opposition leader Bar Jagdeo Monday afternoon at a press conference came out in strong condemnation of the sedition clause in the cybercrime bill, which virtually makes it a criminal offense for someone to speak ill of the government on a social media platform. He even took a jab at the Minister of State Joseph Harmon, who last week defended the clause, noting that it is necessary to guard against espionage, sabotage, and subversion.
I keep wondering what kind of state secrets we have. You know, how many nuclear bunkers we have in the Pomeroon. And, you know, the chemical factories, gas factories that we're building, that we have to be so worried about state espionage.
Concerns were raised regarding why the PPP parliamentarians, who were on the select committee tasked with reviewing the bill, did not object to the clause then. But Jagdeo made it clear that this was because the parliamentarians may have overlooked the clause, not because they supported its insertion.
I think we dropped the ball on this matter. We dropped the ball on this matter, and because it was only after the Monday meeting that we had in preparation for Parliament that I chaired, that when we had a good look at the bill, that we recognized that this provision had been inserted in our absence.
The former president explained that the cybercrime law is intended to protect children against pornography and citizens' online privacy, not to protect the interests of those in government.
We already have laws protecting all of our citizens, and I would assume that the Prime Minister and the President and ministers are citizens of Guyana, and that they too are afforded the same sort of protection that we all enjoy under law against criminal acts. Why do they need a special provision in this article to protect the interests of only those categories of people?
The cybercrime bill was intended to come up for debate in the National Assembly on Thursday last, but the Attorney General Basil Williams asked for the matter to be deferred to another sit-in. The opposition leader said he hopes this was done because the government recognized the undemocratic nature of the sedition clause and plans on deleting it from the bill. Davina Samaru, Newsroom.
Crime Chief Paul Williams, who has over 3 decades of experience in the police force, Monday morning said he was ready to be the country's police commissioner. Neil Marks reports.
The Commissioner of Police is the President's choice, and whatever God says, that's it. I'm not worried.
At first he seemed hesitant, but then Crime Chief Paul Williams laid out his record that he was fit to be the country's next police commissioner.
41 years of service is long, and I came through the ranks from a constable to assistant commissioner of police. So I've walked the ranks. I've walked around divisions, department, everything. So whatever it is, wherever I'm being placed, or whatever challenge comes before me in this Guyana police force to serve this nation, I'm prepared for it, sir.
At a press conference early Monday, the crime chief didn't leave anyone guessing as to whether he was interested in the job or not.
I think among the 8 assistant commissioners, that would be the desire of all of us.
The last police commissioner, Silal Prasad, ended his tenure at the end of February this year. The next most senior officer is the current acting commissioner, David Ramnarine, but it seems it is not a done deal that he will be confirmed in the position. David Ramnarine is among 8 assistant police commissioners who have been interviewed for the job. President David Granger himself sat in on those interviews. The president appoints the police commissioner after meaningful consultation with the opposition leader. Will it be Paul Williams?
If that's it.
The regional officers consistently provided the PSC with inconsistent answers, which caused both Ali and Lawrence to reprimand them. Davina Samaru, Newsroom.
The mega Indian playback singer Atif Aslam arrives in Guyana this evening for a concert at the Guyana National Stadium on Tuesday. Neil Marks has the details.
He has been called Pakistan's answer to Bruce Springsteen and is now one of the leading singers for India's prolific film industry, notably Bollywood, where he started off with romantic numbers. At 34, Aslam has had a phenomenal career and is coming to Ghana to perform for a fundraising event for the Ghana Hindu Dharmic Sabha, which says all funds raised will go towards its school expansion project. Atif Aslam is generally known in Guyana for his Bollywood romantic numbers, but he can easily switch to Sufi and Qawwali to the upbeat dance and pop numbers. His incredible repertoire of hits include tributes to India's legendary playback singers such as Lata Mangeshkar, Mohammed Rafi and Reshma, and he's bound to thrill the audience with a number of those. Also performing with Atif Aslam will be Vivek Mishra, a young singer from Uttar Pradesh in India. The Atif Aslam concert begins at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, and those who haven't bought tickets ahead of the show can do so at the gates. For the newsroom, Neil Marks reporting.
The opposition party says it needs to reconsider its plan of filing more private criminal charges against government ministers. Party leader and former President Bar Jagdeo told a news conference that the PPP is hesitant to approach the police and file complaints. Davina Samaru has the details.
General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Bar Jagdeo, is worried that it may be an exercise in futility to approach the police to launch investigations into allegations of misconduct in public office against ministers of the government.
I'm wondering whether it would even be useful to take these charges to the police. Whether it would be useful to take the charges to the police, because the way everything is politicized now, you're just not going to get an investigation.
Opposition parliamentarians Juan Ejel and Vikram Bharat, represented by former Attorney General Anil Nandlal, had filed private criminal charges against 4 ministers, but the Director of Public Prosecutions has since dismissed the charges in the furtherance of good governance. The DPP also advised that a police investigation be conducted before the filing of criminal charges. Jagdeo said despite his reservations, the PPP will have to discuss how they will move forward. He noted too that the party will have to rethink filing additional charges against more ministers.
We have to reconsider the other charges we were preparing now in light of the way the DPP has acted.
The charges filed by the PPP came on the heels of the Special Organized Crime Unit filing charges of misconduct in public office against 2 former government officials, Dr. Ashni Singh and Winston Brassington. The charges were filed in absentia since both men reside overseas, and the court granted until May 7th for them to make appearances. Their lawyer, who is Nandlal, has indicated that he will take steps to have the charges dismissed. He had written the DPP requesting that the charges be reviewed, but he has not received a favorable response. This is what prompted his cries of a double standard in the execution of the powers vested in the office of the DPP. Davina Samaru, Newsroom.
A police corporal is a patient at the Mabaruma Hospital after he actually shot himself while placing an unlicensed firearm in the waist of his pants this morning at Whitewater Region 1. A police statement noted that the firearm, which was retrieved by an Army lieutenant at the location, had no serial number. The lieutenant also retrieved 5 live rounds and a spent shell at the scene. The police corporal and the constable are part of a joint police-army patrol presence in the area. The police statement noted that arrangements are being made for a senior detective from the Criminal Investigation Department in Georgetown to visit the area and commence investigation. The second edition of Uncapped was hailed a huge success with over 60 booths on display and a significant turnout compared to the exhibition's inaugural year. Davina Samaru tells us more.
Organized by the Ghana Manufacturing and Services Association, with major sponsorship from ExxonMobil and the Ministry of Business, this agro-processors exhibition is aimed at showcasing the variety of products that are being produced locally. Products on display range from food items such as powdered seasonings, jams, chips, and condiments, to crafts such as jewelry, dolls, ornaments, and cosmetics such as shampoos, soaps, and essential oils. Radhika De Freitas, a young entrepreneur, used the Uncapped platform to launch her line of local spices under the brand Dikas.
This idea came from my mom. She first started it, yes, and I picked it up after. I grew up around the spices, so it became like a passion for me.
Using fresh spices like paprika, chili, and turmeric, De Freitas created her own brand of unique flavors such as the fish and chicken seasoning, garlic powder, all-purpose seasoning, and the perfect mixtures for fried rice, cook-up, and chow mein. Denise Grant, whose business has been established for about 8 years, produces soap bars, body oil, and hair products, all in a range of fragrances and for various purposes.
Now the product that I have here, they're all herbal product and natural and organic. What you'll see, I have a variety of soaps. And most of them carry honey in it, which is antibacterial, antifungal, and also anti-aging.
Cheryl Daniels, another young businesswoman, has her own line of shampoos and conditioners under the brand Cheryl's Cosmetics. In addition, she makes a variety of other hair products which she guaranteed can solve any hair problem.
Even if you have relaxed hair from different rays, different texture, it works for anybody. It's for damaged hair, whether damage from the root or the scalp, whether your hair breaking from the root or the scalp or the ends, your hair thin and you want it thick, it helps stimulate the hair follicles. Dandruff as well, it helps get rid of the dandruff. You have cradle cap, because cradle cap some people still do, cradle cap. The edges, a lot of women troubles with the edges. It rejuvenates the hair follicles again and stimulate the hair, giving you coarser, stronger strands. Also, it helps with heredity hair loss. Some people got this bald plate kind of thing going. It helps and it works as well.
Meanwhile, the GMSA has hailed the event a huge success. First Vice President Ramsey Ali was particularly impressed with the improvements in the packaging of the local products.
GMSA, we believe in this sector. We believe that agro-processing in Guyana will grow. And we are supporting the industry in a number of different ways. Not only about having our on-camp marketplace, but in terms of technical support and marketing and business, helping them with business. So that's why you have seen a change in the products today, as let's say 3-4 years ago. Improving packaging, improving the way they present the products, pricing strategies and all that. We're really, really happy what happened here today.
This one-day event, which was held at the Providence National Stadium on Sunday, was made possible through sponsorship from the private sector businesses, which saw exhibitors and the public attending for free. Davina Samaru, Newsroom.
When the newsroom returns, regional and